Don't worry, guys. If you make it out of here alive, I'm sending you to a much nicer place.
Oh,
wonderful.
That's nice.
That's
nice.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Well,
It's from getting here to there. That's the trick.
That's the
Yep.
trick, yeah.
You'll be able to buy pants.
Wearing
I can
pants.
buy pants now.
Who needs pants? You're going to be made fun of for your lack of pants. Anyway,
We have pants, don't we?
you have
We
thongs.
we are a desert people. We have pants.
If basically what he's trying to imply is that if he does not get this mask back to this gentleman, then Odin's word is not worth
Yeah,
really a
no,
lot.
which is fair.
Yeah.
Which is really bad.
Yeah,
That's
not
very
so
bad.
good.
Gonna
Get some bad Yelp reviews.
So it's like the word of Odin on Fate, Yelp reviews.
It's like
1 out of 5
great
stars.
food, great food. Stuff gets stolen though.
Well, it's
Service is okay. I want to imagine that just like somebody, just like there's a Yelp page about Odin, and there's just like internet trolls just writing a really bad review.
Just, oh God.
Odin can't keep an eye on one mask.
Oh.
He's only got one.
But by internet trolls, you totally mean frost giants, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
obviously.
100%. I'm just now
Like,
just
oh, this
imagining
guy's a total frost giant.
on the internet.
Okay. What was that, Sam?
The audience is cheering a lot for Howie. There's a lot of like really good ones. It's Howie, Wowie, Howie, Howie, Zowie, Break the Douchador.
Door! Oh my god! I love it.
Yes.
Oh, I want that on a
How many
shirt
people-
now.
everybody. Thank you for coming to D20 Live's rendition of Dune, The Journey to Arrakis. I just named it that right now. That's not actually her name. Who knows what her name is? With me are my players. I have Mike. Can you please introduce your character?
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. Today I am playing. Let me get his name up. Viscount Gabriel Helheim of House Helheim. I am the founder and order and ruler of my. Oh, not the founder. I'm the ruler of my own minor house.
Yes. And then Dave, can you please introduce your character?
Hey everybody, it's your local everyday Dave, and I'm playing Luca Rylan, of House Helheim, and I'm the House Blade Master.
Perfect. And then Mames, what are you playing today?
Hello, I am your Bene Gesserit for the afternoon Nimona Polynymia.
Excellent. And then last but not least, Byron.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Byron, and today I'm playing Zephram Spiare, the Mentat and Spy Master for House Helheim.
Perfect. So let me set the scene a little bit. Or Mike, do we have some announcements first?
The big announcement coming up is the fact that we are going to be back next week on Sunday with more Star Wars Let's Kill Vader. We're going to be doing a little bit more reshuffling in October just because of the usual challenges that Sam and I are having because we're going to be moving out of the current location. But apart from that, that is pretty much it for announcements as we taper off and get ready for the end of the year with all the big games that we have planned at the end.
All right. So let's get down to this then. This will be a bit more of a serious flavor than I think we're used to. We find our players as a minor noble house in the universe of Dune. Their house is called House Helheim. They are currently being moving from their home planet, where they would normally be set up with their minor holdings, to Arrakis as part of the Great Migration that the House Atreides is taking place in. And they are what happened was the planet Arrakis, which is the most valuable planet in the universe, quite literally, because it's the only planet on which the chemical spice is produced, which allows for faster than light travel, is being given to House Atreides by the Emperor, and it's being taken away by from House Harkonnen. What we're looking at right now is you guys are landing on the planet. Your assets would have been moved there already, and they're just kind of waiting for you to land. You would be landing at a spaceport with the locals would be there to greet you and stuff like that as well. Rather unenthusiastically, because they're made to be, welcoming and stuff like that. But they're very used to the Harkonnen overseeing their daily affairs, which is a lot of brutality and a lot of oppression. And you guys just aren't that kind of flavor. You're a very different sort of situation than they're kind of skeptical, as you can imagine they would be.
So is Zeph and Luca with me, and is Mames' Nimona with us as well?
Yeah, so you all be landing together as a show of force kind of thing. Well, of unity, I guess, is more appropriate. You, Nimona, you would have been assigned to the house at some point early in the past by the Bene Gesserit. And you also would have had your House Blade Master and your House Mentat with you, kind of as your court sort of thing.
So has the ship opened up and are we on our way out?
Yes.
Cool. As we sit down, I walk off carrying my bag with my sword and suit and everything on me.
Mm-hmm.
I drop it on the ground. I take a deep breath of Arrakis air. Oh, it burns. This whole planet burns. I love it. Nope. I hate it. Nope. I haven't made up my mind. Gentlemen, ladies, welcome to home for the next... I don't know.
Stepping off of the ramp and wearing a full dress uniform and just starting to sweat profusely.
Like almost immediately.
Woo!
It's like as soon as
Like
the
a
door opened.
Like as soon as that air conditioning
Oh.
stopped working, you're toast. Like you start heating up like a can in the microwave. It's brutal.
Oh,
Zephram, do you have any insights you wanted to share, possibly?
It is 300 degrees Kelvin during the day, my lord, but it drops. But the temperature does in fact drop to 145 degrees Kelvin during the evening, making it much more comfortable. But as you so aptly put it, there is no moisture whatsoever.
No.
There is 0% humidity.
So you're saying it's a dry heat?
It's the driest heat you've ever encountered, to the point where you can already feel your mouth starting to dry out, kind of thing. Like it's insane how quickly it's swept away from you.
How did the Freemen doom it? Zeph, how many Freemen was the last Imperial censure factoring them to have on this planet?
Zephram just stops for a second. You just see kind of his eyes roll back. Last census counted 5,000 in the southern polar region. However, those numbers could be fabricated. As a full census of the native population, the Fremen, hasn't been fully taken.
Okay.
No. They're notoriously hard to pin down. They know the desert like the back of their hand. They have... they're the native people to Arrakis. Like, they were the first colonizers. They were the original population, basically.
Nim, what do you think?
Well, I don't know what you're all complaining about. I feel perfectly fine. I'm wearing like all black, this black veil over my face that you can see behind. I'm not sweating at all because I'm using my Parabindu conditioning just to not be uncomfortable. But the Fremen, I believe, are right to mistrust us, as over the years they've not been treated the kindest by the Harkonnen and whomever was their oppressors prior to that.
Well, the Harkonnen have been taking care of Arrakis since basically the dawn of the... No, it's fine. Like, and you would have known this. Basically, the Harkonnen have been taking care of the planet, well, quote unquote, taking care of the planet for hundreds of years at this point. Ever since spice was discovered to be important. This is how they became a major house. This is fairly common knowledge. What you are going to find out, and we'll kind of fast track a little bit, are as you're given records and as you're given like control of the facilities and stuff like that, is that they've actually been skimming spice off the top and selling it kind of on the side, and this is how they've gotten so fabulously wealthy in a very short amount of time.
They were being shady dicks.
It's to say the least. Like, really pushing the population for more production, really riding them and really mistreating them. So basically, you guys kind of finding evidence of that is something that you may want to hold on to as well.
Okay.
Now, just to kind of interrupt for a second, there, beside your landing pad, you can kind of see another one where another lesser house is landing now, as they have been brought on board, same as you. And you recognize the purple and gold of the lander to be your rival house, Leander. So they are landing at the relatively the same time. They're not going to be taking over the same area as you, but like they are using the same landing pad, obviously, because there's only so many to go around. So they land. Their troop ship lowers their ramp down, and you see flamboyant silks and cloth sweeping in the wind as people kind of carry banners and stuff like that out. They're making a really big show of this. You see courtiers walking with veils, chainmail covering their entire face. And then you see some kind of really outlandish stuff where some people with stilts on their hands and their feet, walking literally above the common people as like a show of like almost like a grotesque show of betterment sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just they look monstrous. They like barely look human, but they are so above the common people. They need to have a literal stance on it, kind of thing.
My Baron, it seems the circus has moved into town.
We thought there'd be no entertainment on this trip. Sorry, Nim, what was that?
Oh, and they're quite garish.
Yeah, like they're super showy. They're very kind of like get the common people away from me kind of thing.
The Freemen value water, don't they? Like that's sort of the big thing around here.
Yes.
More than anything.
So, I'm saying this more just to the group as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me see if I get this straight. Our rivals are walking around acting better than everyone else and are just full of so much water, huh?
It's very apt, my Viscount.
While we're just more meager and 4 of us walking around and appreciating the good desert heat, that foraged, proud people. Right? Do I have that roughly down?
That does appear to be the case, yes.
Aye, me lord.
What a lovely way to start our trip here. Do we have any spare water rations on the ship?
I imagine that you do.
I want to take at least half and try and see if we can pass them around the Freeman people that are attending us.
That would be the equivalent of handing people golden coins. Like that would be crazy. Like it's like the show of wealth would be extreme.
All right then.
So if you wanted to, by all means, they would like freak out. Like they'd be like, "Oh my god, holy shit, water!" kind of thing.
Half a ration then. See what they do with it.
Yeah, sure. So the people gather around and they're like kind of like bowing and thanking you and kind of like almost wailing at how appreciative they are of this. It's not like they're water starved or anything. They just know how valuable this is as a commodity.
Mm-hmm. As they do, I start asking them questions about the neighborhood, and I make sure that all 3 of my people are listening, including my Mentat and my Bene Gesserit and my Swordmaster, asking, "Oh, where's a good place to get a meal now? If you guys are having trouble, where's the local doctors? And is there any alleys that you recommend we don't travel down on a dark, dark night? Please, everyone, listen to these conversations that we're having."
So they would let you know kind of just generic, this restaurant's great, this restaurant's good. The local wells are not doing so hot, but that's because the Harkonnens didn't maintain them very well.
And probably
there's a lot of neglect that you're getting from a lot of these conversations.
Oh,
infrastructure wise.
I'm absolutely shocked that the Harkonnen would be neglectful of these people.
I'd be shocked.
They're historically assholes.
They are like brutal assholes. Like they're like brutal and overbearing is a really good description of the Harkonnen as. So yeah, they would have neglected a lot of the infrastructure. They would have, because it would have been all about spice harvesting. Like that's the name of the game for them.
A suggestion then, my good Viscount, possibly organizing some public works, as well as some spice mining, probably would endear and ingratiate ourselves to these people even faster.
Well, that's an ingenious idea, but I do believe we have an itinerary today of people we have to meet before we can start initiating massive reforms.
You do, but it's good. It's a good idea to keep on the table, kind of thing.
Okay. And if you're wondering what I'm doing here, is I've got a string of beads in my hand, and I'm just slowly clicking one bead over another, as I'm just paying attention to the conversations that are going on.
Sort of like a mnemonic tool kind of thing, eh?
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, so
it's his mental Dewey Decimal System.
Basically.
It's my Mentat abacus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, what do you guys want to do then? Do you want to go to the well, it wouldn't be a palace for you necessarily as much as like a house, like a mansion type of thing, or would you prefer to deal with the people? Like, what do you want to do now that you're on Arrakis and you've seen your rival house land and how gross they are?
Well, I know my rival house, and I'll tenure to the group from their opinions on this. I know my rival house is going to probably get settled first. What they're not going to do first is go talk to the good Duke Leto Atreides, who allowed us all to be here and pay duty first, then get settled.
That is true.
He is the first on our itinerary.
Well,
and we do have to travel to Arakeen in order to see him first.
You do, yes. Okay, so Arakeen is the good name drop, by the way. Is the main city on Arrakis. It's like the capital.
And it's just outside the spaceport.
It should be, yeah.
The spaceport is just outside Arakeen.
Arakeen, yes. Okay, so yeah, if you would like to, you can. By all means, you can meet the Duke and or at least have some FaceTime with him at the very least.
Now,
because it would be really rude of you to not, to be honest.
Now, while suggestion is we do take an ornithopter to get to Arakeen properly, I think us walking through the people here, even though it's a greater distance, and I know Luca is perspiring quite a bit, but I think ingratiating ourselves to the people as we head to Arakeen proper would be more suitable than using the ornithopter at this time.
I think I am dying.
Luca, can you hold off dying long enough for us to get to the crowd and you can do your job as my bodyguard?
For you, my lord, anything.
Ah, bless you, Luca. Nim, any thoughts or suggestions and input on the matter?
I think it is a very wise decision to ingratiate ourselves to the Fremen.
Excellent. Then I see no words against. Let us proceed.
Okay, so we'll kind of fast travel you a little bit. We'll get you going through the city. The other, you can see House Leander's ornithopters kind of zip past you overhead, trailing silks and gold cloth and all sorts of things to make very sure that everyone knows who they are. You just kind of look up at them and sneer as they kind of blow past you.
Oh, I wave politely.
Oh, do you?
Lovely weather we're having. There's no reason we can't be civil.
It'd be a terrible shame if their silks and banners got caught up in the wings.
It would be a terrible, terrible shame.
I would also propose someone that, had a piece of reflective surface or a glass. My, those silks could end up just horribly on fire as they traveled.
Now, I know we're all in the mood to be petty today. I will remind you that we haven't checked in with the Duke before we decide to dismiss ourselves to schoolboy antics and proceed to start smearing feces on all their silk. Hewn locally, of course, to stimulate the economy.
That'd be a huge waste of water.
No one can see this, but I've extended my kinjal like an inch out of its sheath so I can try and reflect some sun at the pilot.
I knew it was a good idea giving him that suggestion. Luca, please put it away.
No.
Do what I want.
Well, I tried, my Viscount.
Your effort was as strong as the smell coming from over there. Let's go.
Okay. So you make your way to the main palace that's posted in Arakeen. Now, this wasn't built by the Atreides. This was built by the Harkonnen. So it's very brutal, blocky, sand trappy sort of building. A lot of 45-degree angles. It's almost pyramid-like in a lot of ways.
I think we actually have a picture of it too.
Do you?
Yeah, Sam. I did.
It's a solar fortress.
It's a big old fortress. I went through and got a lot of photos of that from the movie. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem, man. We also have Leto too, if you want them.
There you go. Perfect. So yeah, so you can see it's very like a lot of 45-degree angles, a lot very pyramid-like in a lot of ways. A lot of it's meant to deflect the wind and sand, but it's not a pretty structure by any means. It's huge. Or inside of it is very cavernous, we'll say. It's meant to keep the heat of the day out, and because it's made of thick stone and everything like that, it keeps the inside very cool naturally, actually. So you arrive at the palace, and after waiting for a fair amount of time, because the Duke is very busy at this point because he's just landed as well. He does see you into his council room.
All right.
And he kind of stands up and welcomes you and there's the Duke.
Yep.
And he shakes your hand and everything like that as you do.
Duke Leto, as always, it's a delight and a pleasure and a privilege to see you.
You as well. I'm so glad that you could make it. I see that you had no trouble landing, and
course not. There's no Harkonnens on this
did.
planet now.
No, luckily they've abandoned the planet, so the rest of it's all ours, for better for worse, unfortunately, because they seem to have left a lot of their mark on the remaining assets for spice mining. So we're just dealing with that right now. And a courier runs up with a data pad and hands it to the Duke, and he kind of peruses it briefly and puts it down. Oh, more trouble in the southern sector. We're finding a lot of spice mining machines have been sabotaged as Harkonnen pulled out. So,
of course it was. Well, my men and women and myself are all getting situated.
That's excellent.
But we are available at your earliest convenience, of course.
I'm really glad to hear that. I mean, any asset is valuable at this point. I know that your posting near one of the lesser cities is not the most glorious, but any help with ingratiating ourselves towards the local population, especially the Fremen, would be incredibly helpful.
Oh, we will endeavor to do our best. Are we to assume then that any actions we take are done so with your full consent and your name?
Of course. You are here by my request, and you are my vassals in this. Sorry, I'm not as eloquent as Duke Leto Atreides. You are my vassals in this, and I trust your judgment implicitly.
Thank you very much, Duke. We will take our leave from you and situate ourselves accordingly.
Okay, sounds great. So we'll have a courtier or a courier bring you more information on your home and on your new home and the facilities they're in. And he's kind of snaps a finger, and someone from the shadows runs out and gives you a data pad with information on your expected duties and your section of the desert that you need to be mining, kind of thing.
I nod my head to him politely, and we take our leave. As we head out of the hallway, well, Nim, how is he?
He surprisingly seems to be a just and honest man. I couldn't sense any ill will on him.
Good, but I knew that about him already. How's his mental state?
I've never met him. Oh, can I do a roll to use my hyper awareness to see if I noticed anything about him?
Yeah, by all means.
Yay.
Oh, is he your first great house head, Nim?
Yes.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't know that.
So what do we get?
I rolled an 18 and a 19.
So no, that's okay. So basically, so they're not successes, but I can give you some information. So some stuff would be pretty obvious without having to use your hyper awareness if you paid attention to the Dukes, like micro expressions, stuff like that. He's stressed, hardcore stressed. He's nervous. He's worried, basically, about this whole thing. A lot is riding on his shoulders right now to make this all work, and he looks a little bit more cautious than a man of his stature should. Like, he spoke very conservatively when he was speaking with your Viscount.
Leto is very concerned as to the success of all of this. He's very stressed out and nervous, which I am not surprised at, given the massive shoes left by the Harkonnen to fill.
Mm-hmm. I heard tell that Baron Harkonnen stopped using shoes ever since they hooked him up to a hover panic one. But then again...
I too have heard that rumor. And I can confirm it.
I too heard he's fat.
Well, I believe we have our carte blanche to do whatever as we like, as we see fit. Everyone get prepared. So get yourself situated in your rooms for 30 minutes. I'll see you back outside, and we'll see what we can do to make this place as, well, I can't say enjoyable, but let's see what we can do to get the job done, shall we?
Yes, I'm very interested in meeting the Fremen and speaking with them.
Oh, Mike.
Yo.
Also, as a show of fealty towards your house, the Duke had something delivered to you just after you left the council room.
Okay.
And it's a wooden box about I don't know, about a meter long or so.
Mm-hmm.
And the courier gives it to you and bows and said with the Duke's compliments kind of thing.
All right. I wait till I'm in my room and I open it.
And inside you find a sword. Like, it's a beautiful 1.5 foot kind of like pommel, like duelist pommel, set in silver with gold filigree kind of thing, like made for like a viscount kind of thing. And it has a little note in it, and it says, "With my respects."
So, Jordan, does this count as the blade I had in my sheet now, or Dana's a fucking measuring tape?
It's a measure at a 1.5 foot long sword. Yeah, like, it's not a long sword by any means. It's definitely a dueling saber of some variety.
Yeah. Does this
Sorry.
count as the blade that I have on my sheet now, or is it a new one?
It's a new one. Like, it's a ceremonial sword given to you as a present and a show of goodwill kind of thing, and like a thank you for arriving to his summons.
Okay. All right.
Like, it's meant to kind of show that, like, we're buddies. Thank you.
I get myself dressed up for walking around in the desert, which I would have clothes for, and I wait for my people.
Everybody would be given a still suit to have for their inventory. And a still suit, for those who don't know, is a totally self-contained suit that is mimicked after the ones that the Fremen wear. Basically, it's meant to harvest and recycle your body's moisture almost indefinitely, so that you're able to you're able to survive the desert and the heat extremes a lot more easily, so without dehydrating.
All right.
Fancy.
Fancy.
I will wait outside patiently for my men, and hopefully find a freeman to help me adjust my suit, because I'm not Paul and I don't know how to fix one automatically.
Automatically. Okay, so you would have all of you would have what's it called? Nearby hand people who are local, and you can tell that they're local because their eyes are glowing blue. This is a side effect of long-term exposure to spice, and it just happens. Like, there's nothing you can really do about it. It's in the air, it's in the food, it's in the water, it's everywhere. It's in such minute amounts that it doesn't really, like, they only really are able to be harvested and in spice mounds out in the desert. But it does, and if you've been living on the planet long enough, you do build up like an amount of it in your system, kind of thing. So the local people would be helping you to put your still suits on and stuff like that.
I thank them.
And they'll kind of do it properly. They would have been, and it would have been House Atreides would have been trained to do this as well by the locals. Okay. So, do you guys have anything else you want to do, or do you have?
Well, I have to accentuate my my still suit with signifiers of rank and position and
of course
our house, and so I've got kind of a cape on, and some things that I've attached to show rank and house.
Yeah, everyone's got a red cape.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, I believe that the cape or the cloth that goes with the still suit is actually a power a power source that when the wind blows, it moves the cape around, and the kinetic energy actually powers the still suit, which is fascinating, actually.
Oh.
I have changed into a different drapey black outfit dress. And I switched out my veil. Now that's like the other was very, very long and almost hit the floor. This one's just shorter, but it is tiered.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm glad you have a drapery for every situation.
One must always be prepared.
And to the person helping me, they're Fremen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In their language, I say,
Thank you for your kindness.
As they're
Perfect. They look surprised that you speak their language, but they also just kind of so they look shocked, but then kind of bow and move away from you.
Oh, they're so shy.
They are like they're still not kind of sure about you guys. They're starting to be a little bit impressed by you, but like at the same time, like they're still kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Where's the shoe? Why has there not been a shoe yet?"
So my attendant helps me get into my still suit, but then I put flowing red robes and a large red hood.
Nice.
Over top as well.
Nice, cool, yeah. By all means, you can customize the still suits as much as you want. They work regardless of what you put on them.
Mm-hmm.
The initial systems are very complicated and very robust, so it's really quite cool.
But once I'm ready, I make my way outside to attend my Viscount.
Same.
I'm there with my own red tabard, I guess would be the appropriate term. My still suit's fixed, and I have both my sword and the Baron's... Sorry, not the Baron. Duke Leto's gift sword on my hips.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what we're doing right now is you will have been shuttled to your city and your holding. Mm-hmm. The sun is starting to set, thank God. So it is starting to get a little bit cooler and stuff like that out. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be your first night on Arrakis kind of thing.
Is the house we're staying in haunted? Is this hazing?
It's 100% haunted. No, it's fine. It's very much like a smaller villa sort of thing. You would have bodyguards and stuff like that. There would be, your house holdings there, so you're not without troops or anything like that. It's just, you don't have as much as Atreides, where you can take over huge swaths of a planet in one go. You know what I mean? You're meant as like a filler force, basically.
Mm-hmm. We're what's known as middle management.
We know.
I prefer the term auxiliary.
Yeah.
Or adjunct.
Now, as the night...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, by all means. What are you going to do?
I get a check-in from Zeph on how all the men are doing getting positioned into place.
Our standard forces are on their rounds. They've gotten into their barracks appropriately. They're into their still suits, of course, wearing red as per your instructions for the house. My men are already starting to head out into the city proper to gather information for us.
Okay.
And they'll report back at regular intervals.
Perfect. So, and Dave, did you want to see to anything?
Yeah, I'll see to make sure that the barracks are being filled out well. People are wearing their uniforms right.
Yeah.
Checking, as a house... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you would be able to, because as a House Blade Master, you would have been the one that would have trained the majority of these troops, and you would have been, because you yourself have been specially trained specifically to be a master of the blade.
I have a deep trust in these men, and I want to see that they not a single one of them goes down due to heat exhaustion or unpreparedness.
Perfect. So as night goes on, you kind of settle in. and it's pretty quiet for the most part, just because this is the first time that everyone's kind of checked into the planet Arrakis. You're getting kind of used to the nighttime, and thankfully it's cooler than it was during the day, although not by much, surprisingly. The sand traps a lot of the heat and releases it at night. And you... Let me see here. I want to look at something real fast. I want to see if there's an observation skill. Let's see... Yeah, you know what? Can you guys roll like a battle skill for me?
Sure.
I don't know what perception would be in this game specifically.
Well, if you're making a if we're making a battle observation about a battlefield, that would be battle.
Well, it's an observation in general.
Okay.
Discipline? Maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Or...
Yeah. If you were doing, if you can justify it.
Truth and discipline.
Sure. Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna do duty and discipline.
Okay. Yeah, because you'd be paying attention to everything and making sure, because if there's going to be some at night.
Hey, that looks good.
Oh, hey, one success.
Perfect.
I'm gonna do truth and understand.
Okay.
With the deductive reasoning for my focus.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do truth and understand. Using my cultural studies.
Okay, sounds good.
God damn it.
That's okay. Again, okay, so we'll start from the top then. Dave and Mike, since you rolled very similar things and you rolled successes, you all of a sudden your comms black out. Like your messaging and your receiving of information just blacks out. Like it just goes out like it wasn't even there. Byron, you notice and you are able to see in the distance flashes of light up in the sky, basically. Like almost like fireworks, but not quite. And Memes, you you didn't get any successes. I will say that you are noticing a lot of the Fremen, lack of a better term, servants around you are starting to stiffen, and kind of they're like looking down at communication devices, and a lot of their communication devices are not working anymore.
As I notice them start to like panic, look at the thing, I again in their language that me as a person don't know what it's called, ask,
what seems to be the issue? You all seem on edge.
They again look mildly surprised. These are different people than from before that you spoke to them, but they kind of bow to you and say, "My lady, we are not sure what's going on. Our communication device is just blacked out. We don't have any access to our families or our people, which is unusual."
Concerning.
Yeah.
I'm sprinting to the Viscount's chambers.
Yeah, I also rush.
You would, yes. So, Viscount, you're going to have your team assemble. And Zephyr, with your role, I'm going to say that you've noticed that a lot of the lights flashing in the sky are coming from the direction of Arakeen.
Heading towards Arakeen, or coming from Arakeen up to the up into the sky?
Coming from Arakeen up into the sky, so you're seeing like just plumes of light and stuff like that coming. Now, because there's not a lot of light pollution, it's very obvious, and it kind of rises into the horizon as sort of like flashes of light. And if you concentrate, you can sort of hear like cracking and like explosions, basically.
They're trying to repel something.
How do you mean?
Jordan, may
Yes.
I roll power and battle?
Yes.
I keep talking, guys. I'm just going to run this through.
Yep.
What do you think they are trying to repel?
Nice.
It seems.
Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, is the shield wall around Arakeen down?
No, the shield wall is a physical. It's a physical barrier. It's not actually a shield specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally speaking, shields are super not used on Arrakis a lot of the time, just because they attract sandworms.
Okay.
In the cities and stuff where you are, they can be used because the cities tend to be settled on big plates of basalt and bedrock that the sandworms can't penetrate. But you wouldn't be covering your entire city in one. That would be insane.
Atreides forces seem to be repelling someone that's coming in from the spaceport and from the sky.
Jordan, what does my roll tell me about the situation?
Well, considering that you guys are all together, and let's say you're on a balcony kind of looking out that way, you can see flashes of light in the sky and kind of the cracks of thunder starting to be more obvious, even in the distance. You do notice ships coming towards, flying in towards you from orbit, into your area as well.
For a brief moment, Gabriel just looks like he's thinking for a hot second, and then he looks up. Luca, get the men, get them ready. You have less than a minute.
Aye, my lord. Sprinting out of the room.
Zeph, did you memorize a map of the city?
We were walking through, sir.
Excellent.
I've already sent out word for the Fremen people that are here to evacuate and get to their families as quickly as possible.
All right.
You can just hear me start yelling, "Alarm! Alarm!" as I'm running down the hall.
Yeah.
Just letting everybody know.
Yes, and so someone would have pushed a general alarm sort of situation that would have woken up all of your troops and would have woken up all of the situation.
I have one more question for my players.
Yeah, sure.
For my players. Nim?
Yes?
Did you know this was going to happen?
I did not.
All right. Get the men in front of me within the next 30 seconds. Get ready. Pack up everything you need to survive. Get your still suits fitted. We do not have time.
Yes,
no, we don't have time. So, for those who've seen the movie, we're repeating a lot of the scenes from Dune at this point.
I have a picture for that.
You would... Pardon? Sorry?
We have a picture for that.
Oh, okay, cool. Now that the jig is up, basically, cat's out of the bag specifically.
Yeah.
The planetary net comes back up, but it's showing just atrocities. Atreides ships being blown up. Slow-moving bombs that seem to hover as they pierce the shields, cracking and splitting the air as they detonate. Atreides soldiers being lined up and executed by Harkonnen, and just left to rot in the sun. Left to rot on the ground, not in the sun. My bad. This represents a betrayal that has never been seen before. No one could have expected this. No one saw this coming. It's complete backstabbery. Not all to be to say that you're surprised but not shocked.
Yeah.
By the Harkonnen is just pretty appropriate. There is you also catch glimpses of the Sardaukar as well in some of these picked feeds.
Yeah, that was something I was about to ask. It's Jordan, could I was actually going to make a roll of justice and understand.
Yeah, well, you can make a roll if you want to put pieces together, and I can help you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
2 successes.
Okay. And I'm assuming you'd get more than that, just because this would be kind of your using your mentat abilities to kind of figure this out. This is you see Harkonnen troops in their masses plus the Sardaukar. This is something that the Emperor has signed off on.
Yeah, I actually report that my lord, Sardaukar have been deployed. The Emperor himself is involved in this.
I know. All right. Are the men in front of me?
I know. Sorry, just one more thing, just because of the amount of successes Byron got. You're starting to just judging from the troop numbers being shown in the pick feeds and stuff like that. You're starting to get a vague idea of the number of troops being dropped onto planet, and it's a lot. It's like the entire force kind of thing. Like they're trying to crush the Atreides and trying to take over the planet in one night, kind of thing.
It's an extermination.
Yes.
They're seeking to wipe out the Atreides entirely.
So, are all the men in front of us?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so I have an ability I'd like to use, if that's okay.
Yes, go for it.
Called Stirring Rhetoric. When you succeed at a Communicate test to address a group of people, you may select a number of those people equal to your Communicate skill. Those characters may re-roll a single D20 on the next test they attempt, as long as it uses the same drive. That drive I'm going to pick is Justice, and Communicate making it a 12. And I hope to God this works. Whew. Okay. Please work. Please work. 20. Woo!
So one success, we'll take it. It's a crit, actually,
it's a crit,
too.
So it's 2 successes.
Sure.
So, yeah, if I... Let's see here. Equal to my Communicate skill. So everyone in the party now can re-roll the next time they use Justice at no cost.
Nice.
So
perfect.
So I say out to my men, Men, the Harkonnen are marching on this city with Sardaukar. That means only one thing. The Emperor himself has declared our murder and death very legal. So, in the spirit of being now that every beat that my heart takes past literally that fire in the sky, a crime, I choose to adapt. And I choose to live. What do you choose? If you choose to remain loyal to the Emperor after I am done talking, I welcome you to invite yourselves on your blades and save the Sardaukar some sweat. It's in short supply on this planet. But if you mean to live, then you'll ride with me. We are going to adapt, and we are going to survive this planet. Mm-hmm. We are going to live, and we will get revenge. The question stands of when, and that is as soon as we learn to survive on this planet. The question of how is we're going to earn it. And we're going to earn it by saving Fremen. Is that understood?
The entirety of your troops just in unison go, Helheim! Helheim! Helheim!
Very well then!
Nice.
Let's survive!
I've trained them well.
Nice. Okay, so, you, hold on a second.
I'm told my rhetoric was stirring because I have the talent for it.
Yes. Mike, can you give me like a knowledge roll, like something that you would know about your noble house specifically, like some one of your stats that would lend to that.
I would say probably power and understand.
Sure.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. Nope,
yeah,
not plus.
It's going to be difficult to get a duty and move roll.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah.
That's 12.
Or move in truth.
Wrong one. Wrong field, Michael. Wrong field. Lead these people not into a brick wall. 2 successes.
Perfect.
One of them is a critical, so that's 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. Yeah. So you know a lot of things about how noble houses work. Mm-hmm. You are not some dummy who just inherited this. You've done your research. You would know that about the Landsrad, which is, for those who don't know, is Space UN. It's a combination of like a senate of all of the minor houses put together, like into a voting block, along with House Atreides, House Harkonnen, and House Carino, which is the one the Emperor belongs to. They make up the majority of the voting force in the universe, quite literally. So you know that this sort of thing, and with the Emperor having his hand in this, in this literal betrayal, you need to get to the Landsrad in order to, or get a message to them telling them that this is happening. Like, that's a big deal. Because the only thing that can stop the Emperor is the Landsrad as a whole. And knowing that the Emperor backdoor dealed Atreides into being wiped out means that no house is safe.
Yeah. Which we can use. The problem is, if we try to get off the planet now, I guarantee you the Guild Spice Navigators are going to throw us into a black hole if they want to.
Well, you need to find a way off planet. You know that you have to. Because
is it even possible for us to do it tonight? Because if Harkonnen's here with Sardaukar, they're using Guild Spice, the Guild, to navigate through here. There is no ship that doesn't fly through deep space without the Guild. But if we wait like even a week, 2 weeks, we could get to the Lannistrad a hell of a lot easier than tonight.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, tonight would be a bit of a stretch, but you know that come hell or high water, you need to get off this planet.
Yeah, we can't stay.
Luca?
Yes?
Instruct your men to record as much possible encounters and engagements with both the Sardaukar and the Harkonnen. That will give us further evidence, so that way we can transmit that information to the Landsrad to prove what's going on here.
All right, I'll get them to start distributing as many recording devices as possible.
Yeah, your troops are, while they're well trained, there's just not enough of them to really hold off both the Harkonnen and the Sardaukar. Like, the Sardaukar alone are on par with House Atreides, which were like extremely well trained. Your troops, while well trained, are not to their level. Like, they can buy you time, but they can't fight them off indefinitely. Basically, that, and they have like orbital bombardment opportunity as well. So it's a losing battle.
Where has the fight spilled to? And may I roll to determine where the fight is now as opposed to where it started?
Okay, so in regards to your city?
Yeah.
So the fighting would have started at your local landing port kind of situation, because they want to lock you down as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to you need to find some sort of backdoor way out. Not to railroad you or anything, but that's
I'm trying to. I know.
Like,
I'm trying
you
to
would
think
know,
of,
like you can't. You'd be tough to fly out of there, kind of thing.
You know, it'd be easier to walk out. I'm thinking is on the way out, can we get enough dead Harkonnen outfits to get the hell out of here tonight?
It's possible, maybe. I don't see why it wouldn't be, to be honest with you.
Okay, it's just a matter of where the fighting was as opposed to where it is now and getting around.
Yes.
Also,
if someone could just talk men into taking their clothes off.
I could do that.
Okay, good. Good. We have the formations of a survival plan in this situation.
Also, we need to speak with the Fremen, for they know the house and the city better than any of us.
Well, we're still getting them out of here. I'm not breaking my word on that. So let's start with that first.
I'm saying consult them about how to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. They would know the city way better than you, because this is your first night on city.
Yeah.
You know that you haven't seen them around very much at this point. They're definitely filtering into the background and into the darkness, kind of thing. So,
are there any around that we can offer, like, as an escort to say, hey, let's help you get out of here?
You can go and check out the servant quarters of your villa. There probably might be one or two there.
I do.
Okay. Are you all of you going at the same time?
We don't leave our Viscount.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
And the troops have been given their orders.
So you round a corner in the villa, kind of hurrying along, and you run into someone standing in the middle of a hallway, with big flowy robes and like covering their face and their entire visage, kind of thing. You can barely see their body even through the layer of robes that they have. And they pull a small gun out of their robe, and aim it at the Viscount.
I would like to engage my shields and stand between them.
Okay.
So shields up. Is there a roll you'd like me to make?
Not just yet. So the assassin that you've confronted, very clearly uses they fire their gun at you. I would like you to try to make a dodge roll to some degree.
Well, I guess that would be move.
Yeah.
And
probably duty as a drive. No, duty.
Okay.
Or you can do faith in your shield or whatever. I don't know. It's up to you.
Or what up there is? I think justice. Yeah, faith. So that's.
Well, you do know you get a reroll on justice because your Viscount did the orrery thing.
Well, this whole thing is unjust, so I'm fighting against that, aren't I? So move and justice. That's 8 plus 5. That's 13. Roll.
And you can reroll 1 dice for it if it doesn't work out.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, reroll that second dice. That's okay. So 1 success. Okay, so you kind of. So how would you like to deal with this assassin? How would you like to jump in and attack them, or to defend the Viscount, or?
Well, first I'm going to absorb the poison or the gunshot with the shields, and try to deflect it away, so that no one comes in contact with the whatever it is.
Okay. Can you roll a battle and some sort of knowledge roll?
That would be knowledge. Would that be truth or?
Yeah, we'll do truth.
Okay, so that's 8 and 6. That's 14. Boop and boop. Hey.
Perfect. 2 successes. Okay, so the assassin is using a subsonic dart gun. It's self-propelled, and it's meant to be slow enough to drill through personal shields. However, your success on the battle roll that you did allowed you to kind of like bring your arm up with your personal shield attached to it, to kind of like deflect it aside, kind of thing. So you like spanked it aside, but you also realized like that dart gun made sort of like a piffing sound, not like a bang. So it didn't. So it's subsonic for sure. Mm-hmm. It's designed to go through shields.
So unless there's a turn order, I'd like to be all over this guy like Spider Monkey.
Well, you just saved the Viscount from a dart filled with God knows what.
Clearly it's Gom Jabbar.
Well, I don't know. I'm not telling.
Oh come on! It's the most well-known poison in the known universe.
Is it? Of course, it's the Bene Gesserit's poison.
Gom Jabbar is a Bene Gesserit thing.
I don't know.
Wow.
This universe contains many poisons and drugs.
Many poisons and drugs.
The universe runs on drugs.
It's so true. It's sad.
Are you insinuating it's full of Zaffo juice?
It's full of Red Bull.
It's mine.
He's like, I want to be next. No. Okay. So it's full of God knows what. Who knows?
So, but you're now within melee range, but everyone else can kind of do something if they want to at this point.
Yeah. I've done a big flashing thing. Who wants to step in?
I'd like to stab the gentleman who stabbed my swords master. Thank you very much. Unless someone else wants to fight him first.
Before we kill him, I want to invoke my voice, the Bene Gesserit talent. It's like, should I use it? I'm gonna get information out of him.
Sure.
You could just tell him to sit on his ears. You could just tell him to sit. You could just tell him to sit down and be a good boy.
Well, she wants to interrogate him, which is totally doable.
You will tell us everything we want to know. Do I roll for this?
Yes.
What do I?
So, what two stats make the most sense to you?
I think duty and truth. I think so. It was 6.
Sure, that makes sense.
Right.
Truth definitely makes sense here.
Yeah. So it's just the 2 D20 and then greater than 15, right?
Yes.
Yay!
2 successes. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. He says that he is there to, what's it called? Abduct the Viscount.
Yeah, sure.
Straight up, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he's told everything he knows. He's there to abduct the Viscount. The darts are filled with a sedative. And that would be it, basically. He also said that he has, I don't know, Ornithopter waiting for him once he finishes his job.
Okay.
Did you hear that? We have a perfectly good Ornithopter to use.
We do.
I look at him. Can I use one of my successes to get him to do something else?
Like what?
Take off your clothes.
Why?
Because they're waiting for him. And we can't see his face. So if someone in his clothes goes to the Ornithopter, no one's going to do shit. And the Viscount is supposed to be with him anyway.
Well, the assassin's on his own. Like, the Ornithopter is, like, unmanned.
Oh, well, in which case I just want to humiliate him.
Okay, fine.
I think he'd be
like,
funny.
take off your clothes. He's like, aw.
Then make him tase himself.
The voice is sadistic.
And very clearly, like, he was sent by either Harkonnen or the Emperor.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that.
So you find, so once he takes his clothes off and then tasers himself into unconsciousness, he, why not? Why not? So basically he rifled through his belongings and you find his data pad that he has, and on it, not quite well hidden, he was sent by House Leander, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, their evidence of involvement. Yoink.
Yep.
I'm going to have a long talk with Vanessa when I see her. She is the Bene Gesserit of House Leander.
Can I take his stun gun?
Yeah, it's got 3 darts left.
Hell yeah.
Actually, that's a good idea. I never thought of that.
Pardon, sorry? I kind of give him a look up and down. It's cold tonight, isn't it?
Oh, that's terrible.
I would take his, like, mask thing.
Yeah, we just take his shit.
I'm just picking things up. This is great.
Yeah. I think we've had a net positive from this assassination attempt on my life.
Well, he wasn't trying to kill you, he was trying to capture you and then presumably kill you later.
Ah, fine. A net positive from this kidnapping attempt on my life.
Okay, so you know the location of his Ornithopter. It's just outside of your villa.
Okay.
It's sort of like a stealth version of an Ornithopter, so you didn't hear it land or anything like that. It's very
a Harkonnen version.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, one of those dark black ones rather than the rusty brown ones.
Yeah, could be. So you escape into the desert on this ornithopter. Unless you want to do anything fancy in the meantime.
Is there any way I can get more of my men out of the city safely rather than just escaping on my own?
You can send a message to them now, especially since the communications are back up in like very spotty amounts. And especially since you have access to this ornithopter, which has a communication suite in it as well. Okay. You can send a message to your men telling them to escape the city or merge into the population or whatever it is you feel would be best for them.
Help the Fremen get out of the city and hide among them. Okay.
We just had a question from chat real quick. I'm going to answer. Can they get older men on board? Unfortunately, an ornithopter is a small sort of scout craft type of thing. It's meant for up to like 5 or 6 people, really. In the movie, they use it to save people from a harvester. They load up like 10 or 11 people into each ornithopter, but they're not meant for that kind of that weight or anything like that. They're meant for like 5-6 people tops. So you escape into the desert. Byron, can you do a roll for me?
What would you like me to roll?
Can you do an information check?
Okay, so understand and truth?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that for you. I beefed it.
That's okay. So I'll give you kind of like surface level stuff then.
Okay.
So you use the communication suite and cycle through just hundreds of channels at the same time, just like absorbing information as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
As you fly out into the desert, you realize that there's no way, like conventionally off-world, the planet is blockaded by the Harkonnen and by the Harkonnen specifically.
Mm-hmm.
The Sardaukar are there to do a job and to pull out. They're not meant to have been noticed. They were shock troops, basically.
Mm-hmm.
This was meant to be done by the Harkonnen to kind of eliminate a rival type of thing. So that's the way that they want to paint the whole scenario.
Chapos.
Yep.
Why don't we just steal a Harkonnen transport and get all of our men out? It's got all the right idea on it.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh, good.
No. It's just difficulty getting back into Arakim doing it. Granted, we do have the stealth ornithopter to get us back in, but we'd literally be heading into the lion's den in order to be able to steal a transport.
Yes.
But,
so, do you guys want to come up with your own solution, or do you want to roll and I can kind of help with that?
Because I want to get my men out of here. I don't want to strand them on this fucking planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of stealing from the Harkonnen. Anything to inconvenience them, really.
Yeah. Because if we have a stealth ornithopter, we could get real close to a ship and jack it real fast. And no
we can.
I mean, are we all okay to try that? And is the game master doing the "you can do that" with a strained voice thing, so we don't do that?
Sorry, we're gonna pass me one more time.
We're gonna using the ornithopter to go capture a Harkonnen ship while it's still empty, or at least has a skeleton crew on it, and use it to get all of our men off the planet, and then we can just sneak back onto the guild ship in a Harkonnen branded vessel, and then rejoin the Lannistrad.
Yeah, you probably could do that.
Okay, cool.
That's generally the plan I had in mind with my notes.
Oh, good. Okay,
it's like pretty close.
Then I'm going to say, Luca, send word to the forces to meet at these coordinates, and we will be there as quickly as possible to lift them. I would say some Fremen. If we get any Fremen out of there as well, that would be advisable.
And if we can get a Sardakar's head as proof, that'd be good too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes.
I start keying that into my communicator terminal.
Well, you don't need to collect a Sardaukar head necessarily. Byron has a lot of recording.
Okay, good.
Of a lot of their involvement.
All
they
here
were
and it's on here.
they were super sloppy in a lot of ways, just because they thought that they'd be able to come in and just smoke everyone, and kind of get out in and out same night.
Yeah.
The Atreides troops put up a hell of a fight, unfortunately for them, and it wasn't as clean or as fast as they thought it was going to be.
Okay.
All
right.
Now,
steal some
names. I haven't forgotten about you. Do you want to give me a role to influence your contact, possibly in House Leander, who is not under attack by the Sardaukar and Harkonnen?
Yes. What up, bitch? What's good?
Oh my god, why are you being a cunt tonight?
Excuse me, we're friends.
So she kind of answers the call and is like, she cringes kind of very visibly and is like, oh, this and that.
Vanessa.
Listen, the Leander is turned against the Atreides. I can't do anything about it from the inside.
Oh no, I can see that, and I know there's a.
Well, she doesn't know what you know, though.
Fair. I know you can't do anything to help so directly, but any information you have or could glean for me about fuck's going on, what their next plans are, anything.
She sounds mad.
Well, yeah, I imagine.
Put a little bit of mustard on that, my Viscount. I do agree.
Okay.
I feel like I know that Naze is having this private conversation, but I feel like we're all like this around her.
No, I'm not.
Vanessa, my dear, sweet friend. When have I ever asked of you too much?
Is your communicate skill high?
Yes, I have neurolinguistics.
Okay, can you roll that plus truth?
So 7 plus 8. What's math?
15.
Thank you.
Says
One
the mentat.
success.
Okay, cool. So you're able to, and the 16 is almost a success, so I'll give it to you. You're almost able to. She knows something that she's not telling you. She's really scared. By the way, she shouldn't even be talking to you at all. She finds out if anyone finds out that she's talking to you, she'll be in some deep shit, Benny Gesserit or not.
Vanessa, we're friends from very, very long ago. If you help me, you know I will help you.
And hinting that help me now, I will get you out of that house later.
All right, so she basically looks around and kind of does a quick little run. You can see the background moving and stuff like that. We'll just assume it's like a FaceTime. And you, she kind of sticks her face way too close to the camera because she's whispering into it, kind of thing. And she says, "There's a carrier orbiting the moon at a sensor range. It's an Atreides carrier." Like a ship carrier. They don't think that we know about them, but we do. Or at least I do. I was keeping track of it using private sources. If you can get onto that carrier, you can get to the Landsrad. Because this is a common knowledge for you guys that the moon plays havoc with comms and sensor scans. There's something if you remember from the movie, there's or if the book, if you read it, does describe this. There's an impact crater on the moon that's incredibly visible. It looks almost like a hand. The Fremen say it's the hand of God, like a handprint of God, on the moon, and it's very visible at all times. But there's something to do with it. They don't quite know what exactly. Just plays absolute havoc with sensor scans, and so there's an Atreides carrier hiding behind the moon. that has not been seen yet.
Thank you. I know what... I actually don't know what might happen to you if someone knew you told me this, but either way, thank you, my friend.
She says, "Don't thank me. Just get me out of here," and then hangs up on you.
Cool. I relay this information and say, like,
before we leave, we need to grab my friend.
Oh, we're taking her.
We're taking her. She is of the Sisterhood. My only real loyalties to the Sisterhood.
Sure it is. You like us.
Well,
is your friend on Arrakis?
She is the Bene Gesserit of House Leander, unfortunately.
Oh, the people who tried to literally kidnap me. Zeph, how many literal seconds ago was that?
Is 45 by my count.
Cool. So you want us to make a stop, get your friend. May I choose how we get her?
You may.
Cool.
I do not care what happens to anybody in House Leander. I only care for Vanessa.
Cool. Luca, get the hook. We're going to do a drive-by.
Get the hook.
And here I was inspecting the stun gun I just got. Aww.
While you're doing that, Dave, while you're doing that, what I do is I just take your hat and I just slowly point it, make it so you're not pointing it towards yourself.
Oh,
that's better.
I'm a blade master, not a gun master.
That part's obvious, Luca.
Maybe for now we put it away while we're in the stealth ornithopter. How's that? We inspect it later.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to you.
I just have this
Would you
mental
like a stun
picture.
gun?
That's apt. Thank you.
There you go.
I have this mental picture that we're going to go right by the house and just go D's nuts as we steal the Bene
We're clearly going to drag our stealth ornithopter all over House Leander's house.
People. Oh, I wish we had poop to drop on their place. Anyway, let's go steal.
Okay.
So is she on the balcony
so
we can do a quick flyby?
Is she?
We call her back and make sure that she is.
You can send her a quick text sort of type of thing, like a blurb message, letting her know to meet you somewhere. And because she's the Bene Gesserit of House Leander, and is she would have free access to wherever still. Like they wouldn't be suspicious that she told you anything. So she can kind of go where she pleases still. Keep in mind, like she is a Bene Gesserit. Let's kind of keep that in mind.
Coming to pick you up. Be on the balcony and 5. See you soon. Heart, 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 kissy face emoji. Send. She'll be ready for us.
She sends you back like a throw-up-y face emoji.
I'm just making a mental note. Like, right, that's how they talk to each other.
The trashy white girl.
If White Claw still existed in this universe, I would hand one to Nim.
White Claws are so good. Don't badmouth them.
Yes. We the true currency of the universe is White Claws. Let's go get this Bene Gesserit and get the hell off this planet.
Okay, so you end up initiating the what's it called? The stealth mode, basically. So the wings of the ornithopter, which if you don't recall, they're built kind of like a dragonfly in a lot of ways. They have like bifocused wings in the for 2 sets. And they go from a droning noise to like a low whisper kind of thing as they something in their technology allows them to be relatively whisper quiet.
I know. Leading edges on the wings protrude out kind of like the leading edge of owl's wings.
Yeah, we'll say that. That makes sense, actually. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Making science make sense.
Biology.
And you're able to zip around to the city, but you know that you cannot stay for very long. If they spy your ornithopter, man, you're toast. So you're able to pick up you coast by the balcony, the ramp lowers down, and you're able to rescue House Leander's Bene Gesserit by just kind of pulling her inside and stuff like that. She can kind of hang out with you guys.
Yay!
Welcome to
Hey.
the cool party. If you're watching this at home, play the Cool Patrol song, apparently.
Damn. Yeah.
Before she sits down, though, she hands you, Viscount, a data pad.
Neat stuff.
And it's got a message on it from one of the leaders of a Fremen siege nearby. Now, a siege, for those who are playing the home game, is a hidden village. It's a hidden Fremen village. Often very difficult to find by the leading authorities, we'll say.
Yeah. By virtue of it's real hot outside, guys. We don't want to look no more.
Yeah, I don't like it. There's worms.
It's too hot.
There's worms.
Too many
I
worms.
don't like it. They're 800
Worms,
meters
aye.
long and insane.
Meanies.
So they offer to help you if you can to infiltrate a Harkonnen landing pad.
Kitty.
If you can prove your water to them. So what that means is if you can prove your metal to them, and if you can prove that you are worthy, then they'll help you in any way that they can. But they have seen your what's it called? They've seen more than you realize that they've seen. They have people everywhere. Like, they have a spy network across the planet. They have their own separate communication devices. They have, like, they're really well established on Arrakis, like way more than the Harkonnens initially thought.
Okay.
And you, like, they're kind of just letting you know, like, they know more about you than you'd realize.
Probably. So, okay. We have a choice of if we just leave right now or we go say hi to the Freeman before we go. How are we feeling?
Okay, again, you see Zeph's eyes roll in the back of his head again. Our chances of taking a transport will be the odds will be much more in our favor if we have Fremen assistance.
Okay.
Something desert power.
Cool. Good talk. Anyone else have an opinion? Nim?
I agree.
Okay. All right. We're making a detour. This will be fun. Let's go talk to the Fremen.
You also are pretty aware that they probably want to strike back against Harkonnen for past atrocities that they've committed.
Oh, probably. All right. Let's go. Let's go talk to the people.
Okay, so they give you a series of coordinates. You make your way to the location. It's not far, surprisingly not far, actually. You land at them, and you are greeted by nobody. It is just empty desert on one side and rocky terrain on the other. There's nobody around that you can see, no movement, no sound, no nothing.
Power down the ornithopter and I'll walk out. As
Okay,
always, having
as
my
you
people
walk.
around me.
Yeah, as you walk out, kind of super wary about this, because you don't know very much about the Fremen. You don't know how kind of people they are, or what they're... Maybe they're just going to take this opportunity to wipe out one more house leader, a symbol of oppression. You never know, right?
Yeah. This could go bad.
They kind of almost like phase out of the surrounding terrain. They kind of just appear all of a sudden. And one of the Fremen walk up to you, and they spit on the floor in front of you.
I reach for my sword instinctively.
What is that? Does anyone know what that means when they do that?
Can I know what that means with my cultural studies?
Of course you can.
Yay!
Not
2
bad.
successes. So you know exactly what that means.
What does it
Oh, I thought you just watched the movie.
I watched
They're offering
both
water. It's a
That's
respect
right.
sign.
Yeah, they're offering water as like
Okay.
as a symbol of giving.
So you know that the correct response is to spit on the floor as well.
Sir, you need to also spit.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it a water offering?
It's a water offering, yes.
Okay, I'm not. I had a sudden impulse to urinate and make like a big. No, that's too much. All right.
I whip my dick out. They're confused.
I just grossly waste water, and they're all appalled.
Yeah, they're all very upset.
I comply in kind. I do not take my dick out and piss on the desert. That feels tactically unsound.
That one might be taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay. They kind of just simply nod at you. They are a rugged people. Like, they're sandy and dirty, and they're very... all of them are wearing still suits with various levels of like cloak and stuff like that over top of it. They are... None of them are smiling at you. None of them are particularly happy to see you. But they do know, like, the devil you know versus the devil you don't kind of thing. In the sense that... Sorry, that was a completely wrong
That was absolutely wrong, because the Harkonnens are the devil, so they know. They have no idea who we are.
Sorry. I woke up like an hour ago. So basically, they have their hopes pinned on you to whatever hopes that they managed to meagerly dredge up. But, like, they're not... Like, they're just kind of done with noble houses in general, to be honest with you.
All right, so...
They're over it. But
them
they offer to help you into the Harkonnen spaceport.
May I ask, what do the Freemen gain from this?
They know more about the Landsrad and more about the Harkonnen Sardaukar situation than you would give them credit for. They know that if the Harkonnen are ousted permanently from Arrakis, they would be in a much better spot societally. They also know that if you were you're like the lesser of two evils. That's the phrase I meant to use. They just want to get back to Harkonnen. The Harkonnens have treated their people very poorly for a very long time.
Very well. I have no objections to this. If your payment is to be in the blood of the Sardaukar you're about to murder, consider us fine companions on this merry adventure.
Yeah, they would really appreciate that.
I offer my hand, my symbol.
They take it. They know handshakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. They've extended in their way. I'm extending in my way. We're sharing cultures. It's a diversity.
So they share with you a plan that they've made, and they have people in place to do. They know of a spice harvester, because the spice harvesters never stop. They just continuously go and go and go and go, because there's no, like, regardless of what's happening on planet, the spice cannot stop.
Yeah.
They know of a spice harvester that you would be able to get aboard. And a Fremen leader would ride a sandworm to attack the harvester.
Okay.
Where they then call one of those blimp thingies to come pick it up. You would then hijack the blimp. Carryall, sorry, thank you. You would then hijack the carryall and fly back to the starport, which would get you in. That's their plan.
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
To quote the old videotapes.
To quote Bill of House Murray.
So yeah.
Okay. So that's what they want to do. They kind of suggested to you accept, and then they kind of, without any sort of aplomb or showiness, they just kind of nod and fade back into the distance. Your stealth ornithopter will be very helpful in approaching the spice harvester undetected. And then when they'll wait for a signal from you when you've got everything taken care of, and then they'll attack with the worm and then get everything rolling.
All right.
So.
Okay.
Who's driving the ornithopter? That's fair.
I'd like to give my try at it. I don't have any drive skills, but I'm sure I can.
Drive skills
out
don't exist.
Yep.
Hooray!
So we'll assume that you do.
Nice.
I mean, most people know how to fly these things. They're pretty straightforward.
Mhm.
A little bit easier than a helicopter, I would imagine. But I mean, even Paul could fly one, for Christ's sake.
They're so easy to fly, Paul can fly them.
Hey.
I mean, Paul was like 14, 15, something like that.
Even a baby
It can't be that hard.
pilot it.
I love the naming convention in Dune because you get stuff like Arrakis, Bene Gesserit, and then Paul, Jessica,
yeah.
Duncan.
Duncan, Idaho, or
Duncan, Idaho.
Or his brother Marty, Wisconsin.
Oh, Marty, Wisconsin, how we miss thee.
You didn't get
All
cloned.
right.
Okay.
Let's see here.
So,
I'm just trying to think of a role here, because it has to be one drive and one skill, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe I could do duty and
move.
Battle.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're trying to do a battle type maneuver in infiltration and stuff like that. So one success, I'll take it. So you successful.
Someone in the chat said, Paul, so easy Paul could do it is the equivalent in this continuity of saying, Jesus, take the wheel.
That's funny.
And here's autopilot.
Yeah, I mean, you can set coordinates and set it to autopilot. It knows how to do that sort of thing. It's not. This isn't a complicated machine.
Yeah.
I got one success. I can fly it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you successful. One success means you successfully fly the ornithopter.
Yeah.
You were given coordinates for a spice miner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. And you then fly to it.
And when we get close, I fly it down below the ridges of the dunes, so that they can't see us coming.
Exactly. Now, spice harvesters are humongous. They're very, very big. There's a lot of ways to get on board it, because these things they weren't initially designed to repel stuff. Like, they're meant to harvest spice, and that's about it. Now, this has been taken up by the Fremen in their guerrilla tactic war against the Harkonnens for a very long time. They've learned how to masterfully infiltrate these things, and you will have a Fremen guide show you how to get into the spice harvester specifically. They want you to succeed at this very well, very strongly. Because anything you do against the Harkonnens is A-okay by them. So you infiltrate the machine, you land on some decking, and you get to go from there.
All right. Unless we want to wait until the worm attacks and just take the stealth ornithopter up to the carryall.
I mean, you can do that too, yeah.
Yeah,
Are we legitimately trying to trigger a worm attack on this thing so that the carryall comes?
Well, you just need to give up a signal, and then someone riding a worm will attack it with a.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the worms always come.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting nearby.
Well, because I have a shield generator, I could just turn it on and hurl it onto the sand, and then I'll just bring a worm like lickety split.
But that makes them crazy.
It makes them like uncontrollable.
Yeah. Now, the spice harvesters are still manned, though, aren't they?
They are, yes.
Okay. Do we know if the spice harvester is manned by Atreides forces or still Harkonnen?
Most likely Harkonnen at this point.
Okay.
Because Harkonnens would want the spice like as much as possible.
Yep, would I be able to comb through the dregs of my memories to come up with a Harkonnen landing code? So that way they just literally open the doors to us?
You could probably find some sort of like automatic opening code, but the Fremen that you're with knows how to get into the spice harvester.
Okay.
So you guys can access it, no problem. It's just that the once you're aboard, kind of what do you do? And Dave made an interesting point. Why don't you just signal the worm and then ride the ornithopter up to the carry-all? You can do that as well.
And then we can give the stealth ornithopter to the Fremen as a parting gift.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I approve. I am your Viscount, and I approve this plan. Let's go for it.
I approve this
message. So they just need an alert. So as soon as you guys are ready to do this, just let me know, and I'll activate the Fremen to notify the others.
We do it.
Like a flare.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So they, they kind of make a little, just like a data pad sort of thing. They kind of type out a quick message and send it. Like they do have their own kind of like underground communications equipment, essentially. So the worm, you can see coming from like a kilometer out. It's not a small event, a worm attack. You see plumes of dust and like a rumbling going through the ground that even the spice harvester is unable to kind of totally quantify. You know that the harvester has an ability to sense the vibrations of a worm incoming. And they would call for the carry-all once it gets to like the last possible moment, basically, because they need to harvest as much spice as possible. So they try to cut it super close. So the sandworm writhes out of the dunes, and you see
we have that.
Just kind of rising and falling and like slithering over the ground. Sorry, what were you saying?
We have a picture of that.
Okay.
Yep. That's my wife.
I want to see the picture.
Yeah, same here.
The worm. All hail the worm.
Whoa.
The worm.
Wow.
So that's a
Yes.
so that's a picture from the movie of it actually swallowing a spice harvester.
Yeah. So we all see that, and I imagine we're all incredibly cowed by this fucking thing.
This force of nature, like it's unreal how large these things are. It's crazy. So the harvester carry-all starts flying, and you can see it coming. The carry-alls are very big, like and they need to expand obviously with blimps and hot air balloons and stuff like that to make sure that they're actually able to lift the harvester up, because the harvester is very heavy. So as soon as the worm comes within a certain distance, the carry-all lands and attaches to the harvester. This is where you guys come into play.
Yes, I'm sure
once this thing
it's
starts
most.
to fly, it'll be really tough to get onto.
I'm sure it's most vulnerable when it's hooking up.
Exactly.
So, with our Viscount's order, we rush it.
Yeah, we rush it.
Okay, perfect.
Just
so
pop over a dune and just go low.
So you rush it. You basically are able to make it up the harvester, as I said before, and into the carry-all, because they do connect them together. You are able to see the crew of the harvester connect to the kind of escape into the carry-all. If you would like to follow them, or if you'd like to stay in the harvester, it's up to you.
Oh yeah, let's follow him.
Yeah, let's follow him.
Okay.
Let's take over this thing.
Yeah. Yahar.
Okay, perfect. So you make your way up in. What would you like to do in order to impress yourselves amongst the crew?
Hand out water?
That's an option. How much water do you have?
Whatever's in my thigh pouches.
Yeah, no one wants to drink your pee, Dave.
Aw.
Maybe they do. It's a hot day. You don't know. It's sterile. So, okay. I don't mean to use our Bene Gesserit again just to kind of voice them into submission, but would our Bene Gesserit please voice them into submission?
I can voice them into submission.
Please and thank you.
And take off your clothes.
Stop making them all naked. What's wrong with you?
We're weird people.
No.
We're a minor house. We got to make ourselves distinct somehow.
Our policy is nudity for all.
I invoke my voice to get them to like us.
Okay. Let me see here. So you would roll, let's say, faith and communicate, I guess?
Faith and communicate. Cool. That is a 14.
2.
2 successes. So yeah, I tried to make this a little bit tougher just because you are working your voice on like several people at once.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice from Bene Gesserit is more hypnosis than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to, it's a certain type of vocal phenomenon where you're able to do it at certain frequencies. And it just goes right to their hindbrain and just forces them to act in a certain way, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you are able to have them give you the landing codes for the spaceport.
These are
because
not the droids you're looking for.
And you're able to make them so they don't freak out now that you guys are aboard the harvester or the carryall.
Okay.
So you've effectively hijacked the flyer. You bullied the landing codes out of the crew.
Do we help the Fremen? We help the Fremen in so they can take it over.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh, they once you're in, they know what to do, and they kind of make their own way in and out.
With my voice,
don't worry about them.
I always say, I point to the Fremen like,
These are your masters now. You take orders from them.
And then they're like, okay. Like it doesn't, like they're just drudges. They don't really mean very much, to be honest with you. They don't really matter.
And there's also freelance spice miners that come and go from Arrakis because it's apparently a well-paying gig.
Yeah. So
they
look,
you know.
Yeah, so the crew just looks at the Bene Gesserit and just kind of like shrug and like, okay.
All right.
Like, all right, cool.
So I'll take over.
So we're sneaking into the Harkonnen base now?
Yes. As you fly away, just to set the scene a little bit, the sandworm rises through the dunes, chasing after the flying behemoth that makes its getaway. I wrote this, I'm going to read it, damn it.
Yep.
All 800 meters of the worm is surfaced as it launches itself again and again into the air like a breaching shark, sensing the vibrations through the air as easily as it does the sand. You players, you guys hear a low subsonic keening moan that rattles your bones as it gives up finally and descends into the ground like it was never there, diving into the depths of the planet once again.
Fuck. These things are awful. Cool.
800 meters of worm.
800 meters of truck.
Fun fact. I say this in character.
Yeah.
Fun fact. The Fremen Chris knife is made from a tooth of one of those.
Yes.
How do you get it out of there is the question. I imagine you
very carefully.
I don't know. I know a lot about Dune. I don't know how they get the Chris knives, man.
I imagine they wait for one of the tooths to be shed and then they turn it into a Chris knife.
Yeah. Or they lure it into a rock.
Yeah, just smash him face first into a rock. I don't know.
Man,
Mom, look what I found!
Wouldn't it be insane if you could just throw a worm at an enemy army? Fuck. I'd run.
They do, yeah. It's
I'd run. Nuts. I would give up.
That's the desert power right there.
Yeah.
That is desert power.
God damn. It's a mean old big-o.
I
feel like I should say something far more intelligent than it's a mean old big-o, but we move on with our lives.
That's a big-o.
It's a big-o.
Oh Lord, he coming.
That's really the appropriate. Everyone says that, but like much screamier.
That's a certified lad of a worm.
I am in awe of the size of that lad.
So
That is a girthy lad.
yeah. So the Spice Lifter has been taken over,
Yay.
and you guys, it was pretty uneventful. You're now landing at the Harkonnen spaceport.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it the spaceport occupied by the Harkonnen?
Yes, basically same idea.
Okay.
All right, so we have to sneak onto the ship that we want to take, get our men, get onto the Atreides ship, and get the hell out of Dodge. So, how chaotic? Screw it, I'm going to do a roll. It's been a while since I've done something. I'm going to make a duty because it's to my men, because I'm doing this to get my men out of here. A duty battle roll. So that way I can figure out what's like the best way for us to get onto that ship with the least amount of chaos.
Okay.
You know, I'm sort of the leader around here, I guess. I don't know.
Whoa. Hey.
Nice. So what do you want to do with your successes then?
Tactics. I want to figure out how the hell to get to get us all onto that ship without causing the universe to light us on fire.
Okay, so this spaceport is just it's monitored by skeleton crew. Mm-hmm. The lander being coming down and the carryall landing is pretty commonplace behavior, so it wouldn't have raised any suspicions. Mm-hmm. You do have some Fremen aboard as well, since they kind of had to come along for the ride. Mm-hmm. And they're willing to help you get to the ship. There are... sorry, 1 second. So there are troops around the landing carrier, or the landing carryall. Maybe about 24 or so. They don't really give a shit about the carryall. They just want to make sure that the spice is processed properly. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, 1 second.
Perhaps we should all hide our house emblems.
Yeah, that part. Yes.
Turn our capes inside out, or I don't know if they're reversible that way.
We'll fold them up and put them in a nice little side satchel. But the more important thing is how do we deploy so that we can effectively get over to that thing without any challenges. Can we get the Fremen to come with us to help us make a path and just get there very quickly and show us how to kite through there stealthily without being seen?
I don't see why not. If you want to be able to roll they would want to help you to be able to do that. So you just have to be able to express that to them, basically.
All right. So in this case, it would be faith, unfortunately, and communicate, which would bring me to a 9 because I'm.
Well, it'd be a battle communicate, I imagine.
Battle communicate. Oh, well, it's skill. Those are skills.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It would be like a battle thing, or like whatever your highest would be specifically.
Skill. Well, that's battle.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure which drive fits that best.
Justice.
Justice. Yeah. All right. Let's.
Yeah, because for the Fremen, justice is a big deal.
All right. So justice.
Like they're trying
battle.
to fight to make sure that they have a fair deal in the galaxy, basically.
I'm glad my justice is so high.
Oh, almost.
Well run.
So, speaking to them, can you get us to stealth across? Help us to stealth across the hangar area, well, the landing pad area, so that we can get over to that ship, get in there successfully, and not raise an alarm.
And they kind of look at you and they say, "We will do more than that."
Oh, cool! Impress me, please.
And they pull their masks up over their faces, and kind of fade into the shadows, basically. And you can see like the glint of a knife as they pull it out of the sheath.
These guys are cool.
They melt into the darkness because it is still nighttime. Basically, this has all happened in a very short amount of time.
Wow, these guys are cool.
And you just hear the slithering of sand on sand, and you don't really see any of the Harkonnen troops around the landing pad anymore. Like, you just kind of like, it's not like they're vanishing necessarily, they just kind of stop being
there after a while. You'll see one, and then it'll kind of like look away, then look back, and then just get pulled under the sand.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, they're good.
They are going to be taking what available water these Harkonnen gentlemen have as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to it.
As they should.
I can't really stop
Oh yeah.
them. All right, let's get on to the ship and leave the back door open so the Fremen can get in.
Let's do it.
The Fremen wouldn't be coming with you. They don't. This is their planet. They don't leave.
Okay, fair enough. If they don't want to leave,
It's rare for a Fremen to leave Arrakis. Like super rare.
Thought it'd be polite to offer.
Well, they appreciate the offer, I
it's being
imagine,
nice.
but like
That's,
they
you know.
have some murderings to do.
Okay, fair enough.
They're very busy right now.
If they're busy, I don't want to keep them.
We have
Let's go.
dinner plans, and
We have our Tuesday entirely worked out. It's just
a mess. Okay.
All right, let's get on to the damn thing. Is there any crew still on the ship, or is it kind of empty for us?
It would be empty, basically, because they don't. They just kind of left it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this one of the Harkonnen dropships, or what kind of craft is this?
It's a basic lander craft, so it's more of a
Okay.
shuttle specifically.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. It's not like one of the landing troop barges that we landed in, or what's sieging Arakeen right now.
Yeah.
But okay.
All right, So, who is flying the ship, and who has the skill to do so? All right, Luca, get in the pilot seat.
I'll be at the communications desk, Viscount,
Zeph.
so that way I can transmit the Atreides code once we get get off world.
All right. Battle and duty.
Yes.
Sound good to you?
Yep.
Bap. One success.
I'll take it.
Nim, you brought your buddy that we picked up from the place, right?
Oh yes, when Vanessa's still here, she's just been quiet.
Good for her. That's a good. place to be at.
she's on autopilot.
Yeah, she's napping.
She's absorbing everything around her.
She's had a day. I think we've all had a day.
I mean, we've had a hell of a night. All right, go team.
So yeah, unfortunately, with a lot of the your men, your troops, unfortunately, were left behind. Their jobs were to make sure that the Viscount was able to be safe. That's the whole point of them in the first place.
Yeah.
So
we're going back
the
to get
fact
them,
that
though.
they played rear guard to make sure that you were safe is kind of the point of them.
Mm-hmm.
You did leave a message for them to have them fade into the background and fade into like the native population, or to kind of escape the city, or whatever the case is.
Yeah,
they were able to do.
We
So a
told
lot
them-
of them did live, because you didn't see you didn't see full on combat, because you made sure to escape before a lot of that happened.
No, we told them to meet us at specific coordinates so we could pick them up and take them with us.
In this shuttle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there not enough room on the shuttle?
I'm gonna say yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't really plan for it that much, but the shuttle should be relatively small. That you should be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. We get them to pack
Or
in tight.
relatively big. Sorry.
Yeah. So we pull in back around where the place was where we told them to meet, and there they all were waiting. And we opened the doors, and I said, "My boys, let's get off this
They kind
fucking
of-
planet."
And they're like, "Helheim," and they like climb inside the ship.
Don't say the name. Lie.
Like, "Ah!"
Harkonnen.
Yeah, there we go, Greg. Yeah, cool. Let's just yell that name out. Let's get the hell out of here.
And everybody spits when they say it.
We don't pay them to be actors. We pay them to be soldiers.
That's
true.
right.
Just yelling, Helheim!
You guys are killing me here.
I love you, boys.
Get on the boat.
Get on the ship.
Oh.
You guys are killing me. Okay, so now you break orbit.
Mm-hmm.
You use the Harkonnen codes that are already in the why am I thinking shelter?
Shuttle.
Shuttle. Thank you. Jesus. And then you are able to break orbit and make your way over to the far side of the moon.
All right.
Upon visual of the Atreides ship, that's when I transmit the Atreides codes.
Mm-hmm.
To let them know
exactly.
Let them know that we're friendly.
Actually, broadcast our codes.
Yeah, well, I'll broadcast our codes.
Well, you can do both. I don't see why not, right?
Yeah, I'll broadcast both codes.
Okay, perfect. So they let you aboard the shuttle, and they tell you the bad news, unfortunately, when it comes to the situation. The Duke Leto Atreides has been killed.
Oh.
His son Paul and his concubine Jessica have gone missing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where they are. They were hoping that someone would be able to make it out. That's why they've been waiting.
Yeah.
They weren't going to wait for much longer, so it's a good thing that you did make it when you did.
Mm-hmm.
They were about to blow you out of the sky before you transmitted the code, so good thing you did that as well.
Yeah.
So their house is in ruins basically, but they know that the Landsrad needs to know what happened here.
Yep.
They just didn't have any proof of anything. That's why they were hoping for someone to make it out. And luckily, you've provided all of the proof that they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's hours of footage of atrocities.
Yes.
From all of the troops that we gave recording devices and.
Quite frankly, our time here has been abominable, and we have no desire to return.
I dislike it here quite a bit. Yeah.
Yep. 0 stars. Will not Yelp again.
Yeah. So that's where we leave our story at this point. So we have covered quite a bit of ground in a very short amount of time, but you guys did accomplish all of the major goals that I set out for you.
Yeah.
Yay.
And that's it. Now you would probably let the Landsrad know what's going on, and they would mobilize against the whole situation.
Or would they?
Or would they?
Dun!
Yes, it's all down to intrigue and politics and stuff like that. You'd have to negotiate that as well.
Yeah.
So,
like, how wrapped around the Emperor's finger are all of these Landsrad houses?
Not very. That's why he's real pissed off at Atreides.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah, Atreides was pulling a lot of political power with the other houses.
Outside of the game, like lore-wise, Atreides got very powerful by very legitimate means. As you know, someone would end up doing, whereas the Harkonnen got very powerful through spice mining and treating people poorly and skimming. Atreides was pulling a lot of political power away from the Emperor, and the Emperor felt threatened by them, and that's why he hatched this scheme. So the Landsrad traditionally is very against the Emperor as a voting bloc, but he tends to overstep and be very.
That's what emperors do.
Yes. Well, this is why you don't have an emperor.
Another space opera with an absolutely evil space emperor.
Yeah. What would you have to fight if the Emperor wasn't evil? If the Emperor was nice, he wouldn't be doing anything.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Empire. Here's your coat. Here's the nice shoes.
What do you mean we have a Bacon Tuesday?
Casual every day. This Empire is awesome.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for playing. I appreciate it. I hope
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
The spice must flow.
Spice must flow.
Spice must flow.
Dune
and so this has been D20 Live's for Voyage into Dune. I'd like to introduce my players one more time. We'll start with Mike.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike. I was playing the Right Honorable Gabriel Helheim, Viscount of House Helheim, trying to keep my men and women alive.
Yep. And Dave.
Hey, everybody. And I was playing Luca, the House Blade Master. couldn't remember my last name. Ryland.
It's okay. Yeah. And Byron?
Hi, everybody. I'm Byron, and today I was playing the Mentat Zephyr Spiare, Viscount Helheim's Spymaster.
Yes. And last but not least, Mames. What character were you playing today?
Hi, I'm Mames. I was playing the Bene Gesserit Nimona Polyamnia.
There you go. You got it.
Ben.
I watched those movies last night.
Yes, it's been quite a
Quite a
rodeo for her, unfortunately.
quite the crash course we've submitted her to.
Yes, exactly. Okay, then. That's about it. It's 5 o'clock mark, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Yep. We will see you guys, everyone, next week for Star Wars Let's Kill Vader. Bye.
I hope you do. That guy's nuts.
Bye.